Hello, welcome to the Aftermath Podcast. We don't have an official name for it. Everybody, say hi.
Pussy Slayers.
Fuck you.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
That's not a
Hi, everybody.
No.
We love you all.
Hi, just so you guys know, this is me, Manny.
Yeah.
This is Jared, Zeus.
Yeah, he's finally doing something with us since his little hiatus a while back.
I've been away for a while.
Yeah.
Shit happened. You know, life happened.
Yeah,
Fuck
we
life.
did a little, we did a small vlog on it where he just said he got into a car wreck, but it's all fixed up now. Shit's, well, still not going splendid for him, but he's
recovering
still
somewhat,
recovering.
I guess. I mean, who knows?
So this is our first episode, the pilot. This is just another experimental thing, because when I move to South Dakota next month, I will be doing a podcast with Andrew, but I just wanted to see how it would go for me with the people I'm with now.
Your
Yeah.
whole life is an experiment.
Yeah, more or less.
Why do you gotta be so deep and mean, Manny?
I don't even know what that means.
I don't know what it means either. I mean, I just like being a little kid and repeating shit back to you.
Yeah.
Calling you it. So it's like,
You're an experiment.
yeah.
Oh, God, the good old days of being in 5th grade.
Right? Just hear some kid, that looks ugly. Well, you're ugly. I'm a 5-year-old children inside still.
Yeah. Oh, God. So, speaking of small children, I was doing my drunk live stream a couple days ago.
Oh, God.
And I downed half a bottle of whiskey, more or less. And on one of the last teams I played with was a bunch of, 10-year-olds, Ugh.
Okay, well,
I mean, that's Xbox for you.
So you got to play with a bunch of squeakers.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what the term was. I couldn't remember.
Here's the thing, though. Okay, I mean, I don't as much as I don't like playing with the kids and all that stuff. Sometimes, I mean, they'll mature eventually.
And they weren't bad either. They were good at the game. They were fairly mature. They were just loud.
Yeah, that's the one thing that bugs me is how their voices can get so high pitched, and then it's just like.
And it caused
What's
the
that
5
fucking
viewers.
supposed to mean? Okay, I'm fucking.
Oh yeah, his balls haven't dropped
I
yet.
fuck you both. Okay, I'm fucking 19 years old and I sound like a 12-year-old little fucking girl, and I'm loud to boot. Okay, so fuck you.
No.
Fuck you.
I'm telling you about when the kids come online, they're just like, "Hey."
They're just like.
I'm
gonna be sure to
scream
turn that down a lot.
But I mean, you just hear them. You're just like, "Hey, how's it going, man?" I'm just like, "Please, can you
Stop
turn your
it.
mic off? You're kind of
Yeah,
loud.
or just turn your volume to your voice down.
Yeah,
way
and then
down.
there was this one guy I was playing with a couple days ago. Okay, his son came in the room, and then he went to the bathroom. He's like, "Here, why don't you just because we were playing GTA? He's like, here, why don't you drive this car for a little bit?" He went to the bathroom, and so he put the mic set on. And he was like. And I feel like the microphone was right in front of his lips.
Oh yeah, because little kids don't understand the concept of how close you need to be for microphones. I used to be in a talent show. I signed up for a talent show. Oh God, this was way back in Aviano, the summer Jason and I met. And I remember the song I sang too. It was "Lips of an Angel" by Hinder. That song was my jam when I was 12. Yeah, that's the one. And my sister did too. Kylie did, and her and her friends were into the Cheetah Girls at the time, so they did one of their dances. They actually did a really good job.
I'm not a big fan of the Cheetah Girls.
No guy ever is unless they're
They're
gay,
looking at them.
But there's nothing wrong with that.
Unless you're masturbating.
Your voice. I'm gonna fap to the beat.
Oh my goodness.
But she did really good, and then I was just a fucking nervous wreck. But I still feel like I nailed it. But I didn't understand the concept of how close the mic was, so I held it up close. But then I eventually got it towards when the chorus came around.
Right.
So at the beginning you were pretty much chewing on the fucking mic. Yeah, you fucking chewing on the mic.
Yeah.
My biggest pet peeve is whenever people don't have the microphone set up right. It sounds like they have the microphone up their asshole and they're pull your microphone out of your asshole, please.
Pretty much.
It's
hard to understand.
It's not a butt plug. It's a mic. I mean, come on, people.
Literally, yeah. I'm pretty sure this. I mean, this happened too. Last night, because my friend, his internet connection is shite.
He's like you.
Because you see, with you, I can hear you. Okay, with him, it goes in and out.
Oh, no.
I used to have that when I was in Alaska, actually.
Yeah,
Whenever
I
tried
did.
to
I remember
with
Skyping
people.
with you.
We only did that once because it was just so
Oh
bad.
my god, it was cancer.
So we
Yeah.
just stuck with texting each other.
It was so bad. It was so fucking bad.
And even then, I didn't have like good service.
Mm.
I needed local Alaska service to have good service, but I had Verizon at the time, so I was paying a fucking kidney a month.
Right.
Oh my god.
I'm sure.
You have no idea how many people I had to put into ice tubs. I bought them drinks, drugged it, and then fucking took their kidneys just to pay my phone bill.
Wait, yeah, I took
Good
your
job.
kidneys just to fucking pay your
I didn't
phone bill.
really do that though,
You know
but
what?
that's how it
No,
feels.
you
That's what it
did.
feels
Don't
like.
lie.
That's
You
what it feels
liar.
like. No, it's what it feels like when you're fucking with Verizon.
well, I can't
That's
wait
what it
to...
feels like whenever you're fucking with anything in life.
Well, yeah,
Paying
true.
bills.
I don't want to... I'm not... yeah, I don't
You don't
wanna
have
do
the
that.
people I had to kill to pay my rent in up here.
Hey,
When I had
man,
to
you
pay
kidding
for my
me?
apartment.
Hitman business is where it's at.
Become part of the fucking
you can
mafia.
you ask for a lot to kill someone, man. You can ask for 20 to 30 to like even 10 times more of that just
Uh-huh.
to kill one guy, and you'll be set.
For sure.
You just be like, yo, you want this guy dead? All right, it's gonna cost you basically a whole new Ferrari.
Yeah, it's gonna cost a fuck ton of money. So, you were saying like the microphone of the little kid was like,
Yeah, it was like because we were sitting there, and me and my uncle we were waiting because I was playing with my uncle at the time. He has GTA and all that stuff. He's really cool. So yeah, the dad leaves. Kid takes up the mic. Microphone is right next to his fucking lips. I guarantee it. And all you hear is just like, you can't even understand him. He saw like you get words here and there. It's just like I'm pretty sure he said there's bad guys over here, but really just
like,
yeah, it literally sounded like there's bad guys. Like, okay.
wait, who are the bad guys? The black people or the police? It's GTA. You don't know.
It's just some fucking.
That's racist.
I know, but this is a podcast.
Jared, I hope
No
you
one
lock
cares.
yourself out.
He's just fucking doodling with his phone over there while we're talking and shit.
Yeah.
Jared, you tell us of your experiences with squeakers online.
Oh god, you already want to know because fucking playing PC. That's all you run across. Is
Oh,
fucking
bitch, please. You run across that shit on Xbox more
No,
than
no, no,
fucking...
no, no.
yeah,
you
he's
you gotta
right.
realize because you got fucking people like who like to play Minecraft, and let me guess.
Minecraft is a definite one for all
Well,
systems.
you gotta realize that fucking Minecraft has died on PC. So now where are they going? They're going to these games like fucking Ark and Rust.
Is it really dying on PC?
Yeah. Oh yeah. ever since
Microsoft
Yeah,
got
Microsoft
it, yeah.
bought Minecraft. It's just kind of been going down the toilet. It's not as popular as it used to be. I mean, you always used to hear about Minecraft being the top game. Well,
Yeah.
like you don't really hear about Minecraft anymore. In all honesty.
No, you really
it's
don't.
really gone.
It's
I mean, like-
it's really become a quiet game, which is a shame.
I think they
since
just
Notch
released
sold it.
like... they just like released a new thing for it on the Xbox One. It actually looks pretty good because there's some mods from PC that they threw in there.
Well,
know they-
on PC you can fly on it. But,
Yeah, you can
and
do that on Xbox
I
now. I
thought
saw
that
the
was
trailer
really.
for that.
I started up. I started up a new Minecraft world because I want to check what all they've added because it's been fucking over a year
Right,
since I
yeah.
played
The
it.
last
And
time I was
it's
on...
it's been a pretty good
I
couple
remember
of updates.
I've
the
been-
last time I was like legitimately on Minecraft, other than playing with you,
Mm-hmm.
was during one of Markiplier's live streams when him, Bob, and Wade were building towers and then killing each other.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was a fuck ton of fun.
You see,
I remember.
back when because I bought the game back when it was still in beta, back when it was in 1.5 beta.
Oh,
And
man.
that is-
that's a long time ago.
that
That
was a
was
long time
a
ago.
long ass time ago. And the reason I got into it is because I saw a YouTuber play it, and I was like, "Whoa, this looks really cool." Again, I was fucking young.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you were like,
I was like,
Creepy
dude,
Besson.
this game looks really cool. And so, I went to the website, I bought the pack, I got it, it was like $21.
were you thinking about starting your own Minecraft Let's Play channel after buying it?
Yeah, I did. Actually, I did. I tried too.
Like what Leafy is here.
I legit have like 2 YouTube accounts open to trying to start a Minecraft because when I was younger, I had no idea of the concept of how to upload and how to edit and how to
Yeah.
how to like keep your fucking passwords to your goddamn YouTube channel. So there's like maybe like one video on both of those channels that are just lost to the universe right now.
Do you remember
of
the
YouTube.
names to them? I kind of want to look this up.
You're not gonna find them, I guarantee you, because I tried finding them myself back when after I uploaded them. So that's why I stuck with my channel right
Do you guys remember when YouTube only had a 10-minute limit on videos.
Oh, yeah,
For
I
you to
remember
upload
that.
longer, you had to go through this long process of getting it done.
You see,
But that was before getting your channel verified on its own.
the thing with YouTube is like most people don't realize is that like you've got to edit and you can't just like upload a fucking video and call it done to YouTube because I mean that's pretty much like being a prostitute and not shaving your genitals and then being paid. I mean it's not a very pleasant service whenever
That's
you just
not a thing I would
watch a YouTube video that's unedited. I mean it's not fun
That's
for anybody.
that's not something I would compare it with, but that's a pretty close one.
I mean, still, like you guys look at if I record and I make videos, you guys, I'm pretty sure, especially Jeremy, he knows how much I usually try to go into editing my videos, because I do bits and pieces. I do like as long as I can, but it's like funny moments or stupid fucking dumbass
that's something I want to do with Pikmin 2 when Manny and I start. We might have you join us on that first bit of adventure, but it's only a 2-player game.
It's so it's so difficult because like
it's really hard.
I'd be sitting there, okay, playing the game. Okay, that's about like maybe 3 to 4 hours right there.
Yeah,
and then I'd be sifting through it. That right there is maybe like 1 hour. And then editing it is going to take me like 2 to 3.
Yeah.
And then having to sit there and let it upload on my computer.
Like how Jason, what I've been neglecting to do, but how Jason like edits the best of moments. Whenever there's a hilarious moment in the Dying Light series right now, he'll cut it out and throw it into his new project, his current project for the best of. And once all the best of moments are in there, he'll go through them again and pick the best of the best.
Right.
Make sure it'll stay over 10 minutes. That's what he did with The Evil Within. And that was our longest series by far.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, and
that's what I need to start doing.
But like, you see, the thing is, I like doing it, but at the same time, it's like I need a break from this shit.
Yeah. You know, it's one thing that's the hardest thing to do on YouTube, but they don't get paid shit for it. Animation.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well,
YouTube fucked animators so bad.
Animation. Well, do you remember that guy who made Animator versus Animation?
Oh yeah.
Well,
like no, what's it like? To Kill a YouTuber guy, where he just did an animation on that.
Well, no, I'm talking about the original Animator versus Animation. His name is like Alan Baker or something like that.
I know the name.
He owns the channel. He's the owner and creator of the channel.
Mm-hmm.
He's the original creator of Animator versus Animation, where the animation actually comes alive, and that takes a
lot of work.
I mean, he made how many of those? I mean, he made Animator versus Animation 1, 2, and 3, and then he did Animator versus Minecraft.
Yeah.
And the Animator versus Minecraft, he said, was the hardest. He spent well over 1,000 hours on that one. And after this last update YouTube did with the algorithms and all that shit, and the policies and stuff like that, and lengths of videos, they really fucked him. Because before he was getting a lot of views on those, he was making a lot of money, and he said he quit making animation versus animator videos to put up on YouTube because they fucked him so bad on views and stuff like that. And he went to other companies that were offering them deals. I mean, that they screwed him so bad. He was making decent money. I mean, those videos were getting millions and millions of hits, views,
and and ever since that happened through YouTube, Twitch has stepped up and decided, hey, stream. Go ahead and stream you making an animation, and
I've heard about that. I've heard about that.
I've been watching Ross O'Donovan whenever he used to do streams for that sort of shit, but most of the time he would just doodle, take requests, and then draw them, and that was fun to watch. I love watching artists drawing their stuff live. It's a lot of fun. I've been watching Shadman, honestly, do his streams.
I've seen a few of his draw.
I've never seen Shadman.
Well, you're in for a big surprise.
For a treat.
Let's just say that you're in for
I'm gonna pull up a picture that basically describes
a surprise
one thing
and a girl/guy surprise.
Oh my goodness.
That's like 90% of his drawings. But
That's 90% of his
it's
drawings.
usually hentai drawings, and I know he's in a couple of podcasts, and you'd think from the shit he draws, he's a fucked up person, but
He's
no,
not. He's
fucking hilarious. Seems like a really chill guy.
His website is fun. Don't go. Never mind.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm not gonna mention his website.
Yeah.
Anyway, as much as I would like to, because he's a really cool guy, but
Yeah.
that's if any kids are watching, I'm not gonna mention what his website name
Yeah,
is.
I mean, we'll show Jared after the podcast is over.
We're not condoning porn, people.
Yeah, and like the things he draws are like lolicon shit, but
Yeah.
you'd think with shit like that that's borderline child porn. He's insane, but he seems like a really nice guy.
Didn't he say that he doesn't get off to most of the shit
No,
that the fans
he doesn't.
because the fans want him to draw
He doesn't
that.
like a lot of animators that I've heard. I've listened to the Sleepy Cabin podcast a lot, and they talk about how they draw hentai, but they're not into it. They don't get aroused by that sort of shit. They just like drawing it.
Right.
That's what I've heard. I've heard a lot of people who draw it and don't get aroused to it at all.
Yeah.
It's more of a. It's really, truly more of an art to them. They
And
don't-
honestly, I don't get off to hentai either. I really like seeing the different styles that people draw in that weird shit.
I
I,
know. Like, if you
I've
look at-
never really watched hentai.
If you look at
personally.
Shadman's,
don't really
like,
care about the animated ones. I like the drawings. mainly.
If you look at Shadman's hentai art style back from say like 2014, 14, 13 and older, like
His style changed.
His
the
style
fuck ton.
changed completely to what it is today, and it looks cleaner, it looks smoother, it looks just all around way better. And kudos to him for working to get to where he needs to.
And the thing with animators too, it's another reason why I respect the Game Grumps. Every week they pay their animators to take one of their new animations to upload to their channel, and then I believe they get all the profits from that video specifically. But the Game Grumps pay them a lot of money just to have their animations go up on YouTube. One specific animator I want them to upload on their channel is Kirby Otaku. She's my favorite artist right now.
Well, the problem with YouTube, the problem with YouTube is most animators have really lost motivation to really upload their animations to YouTube.
Yeah.
You see significantly a lot less.
Well, and even if they do, they're uploading. They're starting to become shorter and shorter. And one good testify to this is Markiplier. I mean, he used to upload.
Lixian.
Yeah, he used to upload like sometimes between 10 and 5 minute animations. Anymore, they're less than 5 minutes.
And
they're closer to between 3 and 1 minute long.
Yeah, animation is a lot of fucking work.
And his
People have no idea
animations
how hard that
are he's a pretty good animator. I mean, he does a good job. His animation style is a little bit different than anime, but I mean, I've always found his animations pretty good.
Which one again? I didn't hear the name.
Markiplier's.
Oh, he doesn't animate.
He
has one.
Who
it's
has-
Lixian TV.
Oh,
That's his
Lixian?
animations.
Oh,
Yeah.
he does. Okay.
Yeah.
Then Lixian's animations have changed over the years,
Oh, yeah.
and where it looked really good at one point, but he wants to get animations out faster, so he's kind of been getting a little more sloppy with that, and that's hard to find motivation because animators always strive to succeed to make their animations look better, but with YouTube's algorithm fucking them over, it's not happening. Like I've
Right.
seen a lot of animators where their styles have dwindled back to what they started with, like skipping frames to make it easier on themselves,
Yeah.
and
I
it's
saw-
just depressing.
Like I saw one animator. I forgot his name, but he did like a lot of the 3D animation kind of shit. Like
Oh god,
he would get like
Coyote Mation.
Coyote Mation.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
him.
he has. I mean, his animation. Yes, if you look from when his start,
3D animation is a lot easier.
it's a lot easier. Yes, but you also have to make sure you do it right. Because if you look back to his older videos, there are some parts where it doesn't look as smooth as it is as in the middle. And now after, and then what he's making today, it's like. It's not choppy, it's still smooth, but he's also haven't been making a lot of animations as much as he used to.
I can
And that's
say the same. The
because-
other 3D animator I know of is Lieutenant Eddie.
Lieutenant Eddie? I haven't heard of him.
Yeah, he's a pretty fantastic 3D animator. He's really clever with his shit. But
Well, the biggest thing about YouTube I can say right now is it's not just animation that's been really slipping that you've been noticing, the quality and the content. A lot of the bigger YouTubers.
it's hard to commentate for them now because
Well,
I'm not sure if you heard, but a lot of their advertisers like AT&T, Verizon, a lot of fucking companies.
Oh, yeah, they all pulled out.
YouTube
Yeah,
unless they
yeah.
got more PC, and I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
That shit's bullshit. Like if you don't go with PC things, you're not getting paid. I
Yeah.
don't think like.
YouTube
I can understand
should-
legit hate speech being demonetized, like legit hate speech saying, "Oh, I want to."
I hope you
Yeah,
bleep
but-
that out.
Oh, I
hope
will.
you bleep that
But
out.
in complete honesty, you know, YouTube should have nothing to do with, you know, being politically correct. You know, we're literally talking about a upload website that
The most popular
has
one.
has always given you complete freedom of all freedom to upload and
Not entirely.
and give you like as much freedom as possible,
legally possible.
legally possible to create content for people to watch and to enjoy.
enjoy.
No, and you know, don't misunderstand us. We're not talking about racism, you know, we're not talking about, you know, fucking hate speeching, you know, these assholes that you see on there like condemning like murder, terrorism. We're not talking about that. We're talking about shit like fucking cursing, you know,
Right.
Being on
YouTube
edge.
like 3 months ago YouTube was crazy about people dropping the F-bomb and cursing at all.
Yeah.
And their in their YouTube videos.
And like
Well-
they're saying we're doing it for the kids, but YouTube has an app called YouTube Kids, which is specifically for kids.
Yeah, if you
If you're
if
treating
you don't want
adults
cursing,
like kids, then go fuck yourself.
yeah, if you don't want kids to see videos with curse words in them, then by all means start promoting YouTube Kids more, because I'll be honest,
YouTube
I
Kids
hardly
is already big. I've been on there, and I've been on there a couple times just out of curiosity, and it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
and you know it
Advertise
fucking
it
make
more.
it bigger. If you don't want kids publicized to like, I mean, shit like hate crimes, racism, I mean,
Legit
swearing,
ISIS beheadings.
Yeah.
The news.
I mean, shit like that. Promote YouTube Kids,
Yep.
because, in all honesty, I don't think it's a bad idea. It really isn't.
No, it
you know?
isn't.
Yeah, it's
But
yeah.
You're not going
YouTube
to get
Kids was
any
the best,
fucking
one of the best
wear.
things YouTube has done.
You're not going to get any fucking wear unless you promote it more. Because
Yeah.
you keep bitching and crying, you know, what about kids? You know, what about, you know, all the fucking people who find this shit offensive? Well, then they don't have to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only that's the only thing I've got to say. They don't have to watch
It's
it.
the reason why, like, you see, like, a lot of, you know, parents saying, like, oh, we need to keep our kids safe, we need to do this, we need to...
They always go for the children.
we
That's
need
what
to-
the PC
yeah.
culture
Well,
has
yeah.
been doing.
Yeah,
I've
they're
noticed.
like, we need to protect the kids. It's like, well, why don't you
They're our
protect the kids
future.
without punishing the adults?
Yeah.
Put up passwords, put up security to make sure kids don't get on there. It's really not that hard to do
Right.
that.
I mean, I've always
And, like, to
believed
go with
in fucking
YouTube's, like,
password
recent
and
thing-
security and
You
shit
see-
like that
okay,
against kids.
With
I
my
actually have a really good quote by Chris O'Neill, or Oni, as most people would know,
Yeah.
about this new YouTube thing, or just in general. We are living in dark times if simply disagreeing with an ideology or religion can lose you your job.
Yep.
It makes me sick.
Exactly.
He's right on that. Oni's the most fucked up person I know that I watch on the internet. I think his shit is great,
and
but
he is
he
right.
brings up a great point.
He is right, yeah.
You know, and that's the thing with religion too. You know, you raise your kids however you feel fit. You know, I was raised to believe in religion.
Don't
it
shove
doesn't
your beliefs
it,
in
it
other
doesn't
people's
mean
throats.
I shove it down everyone's throats. You know, I don't try to force people to believe. You know, if you don't believe, you know, to each his own.
Yeah,
I don't fucking try to convince you otherwise. You know,
Yeah, and like
they're my
example-
beliefs. They're my thoughts. You know, it's my faith. You know, I'm not going to try to shove my faith down somebody's fucking neck or
Right.
throat.
Mm-hmm.
Now, on the other side, if somebody badmouths my religion, it does piss
like
me off.
like me, for example. I was raised in a religious family. Well, mainly on my dad's side. My dad strayed away from that a long time ago. But my grandparents, my aunt and uncle were strictly religious. But I respect people who have a religion to have something to follow, as long as if they're not shoving it down my throat. Then that's when I will say something.
And you see, I was raised in a household where it wasn't just, you know, yeah, my parents will curse around me like when I was 9 years old or something like that. But then they turn around, they're like, you can't say those words around anyone. Please don't do that. If you do that, you're going to get in trouble. And I was like,
God,
and
I actually have a really funny story about that.
And then I was like, okay, and of course, I'll admit, I was spanked, I was hit, I was told. If I did something wrong, I'll get spanked
I got punished for it.
I'll get punished. I get grounded. I get my shit taken away from me.
And people consider that child abuse now.
Right? Yeah.
You look at this problem with this society.
There's nothing wrong with getting fucking spanked.
Yeah.
If you don't fucking spank your kids, you should be fucking spanked. Because in all honesty, the reason why we have so many
not the
fucking
sexual
brats
spanked either.
The reason why we have so many fucking little brats of kids in society today is because they're not spanked.
There a couple of years ago, I remember. Colorado-based story. There was a bunch of middle schoolers hosting a legitimate sex party.
What the fuck?
Because they're spoiled little shit fucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, you look at that shit like that. I'm like, yeah, parents will be like, oh, it's the parents' fault. Well, no shit, it's the fucking parents' fault. Or like, oh, they're just being kids. Like, no, they're just being.
Kids don't do that.
They're middle school. They're too young for that. And then you got those people that are just like, well, if you look at back from in the day, it was like, well, that's not appropriate.
That's not now.
Yeah.
That's not now. That was back then. This is now.
As much as I would love to have sex back when I was in middle school, I knew, it wasn't right.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't right, but
so I knew
too bad our peers didn't know because they weren't fucking raised.
I mean,
because
you look at these, I was walking down. Okay, when I was working over at fucking King Soopers, I don't work there anymore, so
so I was gonna say you're fine.
Yeah. There was this. Oh my god, I will never forget this day. It pissed me off so much. There was this little boy. Okay, he came in with his mom and dad. All right, and he was just just sitting there, stuck on his thumb and some shit. The kid was like 10. All right, I was like,
my little sister Megan actually had a big problem with sucking her thumb.
I was like, okay, whatever, sure.
She stopped sucking her thumb when she was like 11 or 12, and she only did it in her sleep. So my parents, hilariously enough, wrapped up her thumb in like the bandage stuff, and she just moved on to the next finger until her whole hand was tied. Then she moved to the next hand. Then she was like, ah!
Anyway, I saw the. I was just doing my job. I see a kid come in, sucking his thumb with his mom and dad, 10 years old probably. I don't know. He was a little tall. He might have been older. I don't fucking know. Either way, he comes. They come in. They're looking around, and the kid picks up an apple, and the mom's like, "No, we can't get this right now." And the kid goes ballistic immediately. The second, she was like, "No," kid started bawling. All right, I was like. I looked over. I heard that. I was like, "What's going on?" And the kid was just. It started off softly, and then it progressively got louder and louder.
When you say that, it makes me think the kid might have had like mild autism.
I don't know. Either way, dude. Even if the kid had mild autism, I would be like, okay, we need to get the fuck out the store because obviously we're gonna bother a shit ton of people.
Yeah, who knows if they punish the kid or not?
I'd be like, it's like you have two parents. One if you can take him back to the car and wait while the other one grabs the groceries or some shit. But whatever you have to do.
My dad would always take me to the bathroom and spank me whenever I caused a ruckus, like in the store too.
Right, and
then I get my ass beat in the fucking bathroom. I get spanked if I always remember I never fucking caused any problems in the store or whatever.
Yeah. After the first legit spanking, I stopped.
Yep. That's because my dad always had a fucking belt holding up his pants.
Right.
And anytime I caused a problem in the fucking store, I got my ass taken to the bathroom.
My dad, he's a big scary motherfucker.
Yeah,
and just like one hand went by him, and I'm like, okay, I'm done being a shithead.
Yep,
maybe.
But as soon as that kid started screaming, it got progressively louder. So the kid was screaming at the top of his lungs. I thought his vocal cords were gonna fucking come flying out his mouth.
Yeah, just.
And he, oh my god, the parents were just like, you need to stop, and they just kept walking. Well, the kid, just like, stop, calm down, just continue doing what they're doing. Ignoring it. And I was like, okay. And the kid eventually went back. He stopped crying, and then he went back and grabbed the apple again. And then he fucking put his mouth on it and just started trying to eat it. The kid, the mom runs over there. She was like, no, and puts the apple back. I'm like, why? No.
He took a bite out of it.
He took a bite out of the apple, and she sets it back.
Oh my god.
She sets it back and runs right back to the dad.
Oh,
the dad then picks
parenting.
him up and puts him in the cart.
In the seat.
Yeah, the cart seat right there.
Lord.
And they started riding away. I was like, okay. And then later down,
Did you grab the apple?
I grabbed the apple
away?
and threw it away.
You had to.
I had to. It was my job. And even if it wasn't my job, I still would. And I'm like, that's disgusting.
That's a common sense thing. That's fucking gross.
Yeah, and then
That's why you always wash your fruit before you fucking eat
Exactly,
it.
you never know.
What shit's been on
and
there.
then you know, like they're walking away, and my coworker comes up. She's like, you know, this is bullshit. That kid will have been slapped and on the floor crying. She'll have that kid would have a legitimate reason to be crying right now.
Yeah.
And then I go to my break. Okay, they're still in the store. I hear the kid crying from across the fucking store.
Oh,
okay,
you were in the break room.
I was going towards the break room. At the time.
Okay.
Okay, and the break room's on the opposite side of the store, and that's where I was heading. That's where they were, and that's where I was headed towards.
Yeah.
And so I go over there, and I see the kid running from the dad with a fucking. Well, it was like some like not mac and cheese, like the TV trays, like for kids.
Oh yeah. The what are those called? It's not Lunchables. It's Kid Cuisine.
Kid cuisine. There you go. Because that was.
That's the shit back then.
I remember that.
And the kid was running from his dad, and the dad wasn't even like bothered, wasn't even trying. He was just like walking, you know.
Oh god.
And the kid was running and was saying, "No, it's mine, no!" And he ran off.
Ugh.
And I was, I just wanted to come up to that kid, and just be like slap him to
Stop! Let me do your job.
This is not how you act.
Bad child.
Like back when I was a fucking kid, the second like I started screaming, my parents would they'd either be like, if I had a legitimate reason to be crying or some shit, I would leave.
31 minutes.
Okay.
Like if I had a legitimate reason to be crying, sure, they'll take me out the store and try to calm me down however way they can. But if I was being a dickhead like that kid was, oh, it was on.
Ooh, wait until you got home.
Right?
Christ.
Dude, get home, get a spanking to the ass. They take
Whenever
my
I did
toys away.
Whenever I was that bad, my mother would grab those Pampered Chef like hard plastic spoons.
Dude, you got
always 3 or 5.
You
depending
got-
on how bad I
you got
was. And
spoons?
God, that shit hurt.
Yeah, I got spoons before too.
Yeah.
It was either.
Yeah, I would prefer belts over those spoons.
It was
those
either.
things
It was
fucking
either
hurt.
it was either the belt or the chancla. The chancla's being a fucking
The
slipper.
thing is,
Yeah.
I hate those fucking.
I mean, you come from a Hispanic family.
Exactly.
So the slipper is a norm.
And if it wasn't a chancla, it was whatever the fuck they were wearing. If it was my
Yeah.
dad's steel-toe boots, because when he was in the
Oh.
army, just fucking stop. Just-
Oh god, that brings up a bad memory. I remember my dad actually kicked me with his steel toe boot because I was a
Yeah, I
little
know that.
shit.
yes.
It was like right in my gut too. I'm just glad it wasn't like on my sternum.
Well, yeah,
because
obviously.
For me, it was always not the little light paint sticks from Home Depot. Those
Oh.
big, thick motherfuckers.
I never got hit by those, but you know how
I
my
used to
dad
get those fucking
spanked?
broke over my ass.
Oh, damn.
You know how Adrian Peterson got in trouble because he spanked his kid with a branch
Yeah.
or switch, as they would call it. I don't remember.
That's stupid because my mother was spanked with
My
the fucking
grandfather used to spank my dad like that when he was a little shit. And
You
the thing is, they would always let my dad or his little brother pick the stick, and if they didn't pick a big enough one, he would grab his own branch, and it was always the biggest one he could
Yeah,
find.
no, that's the way my mom and my uncle were. Then my great grandmother made them pick a fucking switch off of a goddamn willow tree.
Oh yeah.
And they would fucking make them bring it back to her, and then she'd beat that ass with
Yeah.
that fucking switch.
Damn. Yeah, my mom.
Switches hurt.
my mom
I know
keeps-
that for a fact. I never got like spanked by a switch, but I had like my cousin hit me with one just so I can see what my
Isn't
parents
that
go
fun?
through. It fucking hurt.
You guys, my mom always tells me, she's like, you're fucking lucky you weren't my age. You weren't back around during my time. Because back when my mom was living in Texas with her family, like, her entire Mexican family was there, right? And she would
The
like,
title of this podcast is going to be called "Beating Children."
but like she said that whenever someone did something bad, if she did something bad, or if like her brothers or her cousins or some shit, grandma, my great grandma, would fucking like grab like anything close. She was just like if you did something bad, good fucking luck to you. You know?
Yeah.
You know, there's good times and bad times to piss grandma off, and a time when she has a fucking steel pot on the oven is not a good time.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
And she learned. My mom told me, it was like one time she, grandma got really mad one time, and because her brother, I don't remember what she said that she did. He did something pretty bad though, and pissed my grandma off. Because whatever she was cooking at the time, it was sopas, soup, with like just shells, soup and all that shit. And she just it was boiling hot too, she said. And so like what Grandma did was that she got like those little tiny bowl cups, what I'm talking about, the little tiny ones. She scooped some out there and threw it at him.
Oh, harsh.
Yeah. He didn't want to mess with her after that.
No.
Because owie.
Yeah. Ow. Have you guys ever like when you were really young stole something?
Yes.
I remember the thing I stole. It was an Airheads. It was a mystery flavor. I was like, ooh, I wonder what it is. Are you the only one that your phone isn't on silent?
Yeah, mine's on silent. Just to make clear.
Yeah. I'm sorry. All I did was unlock my phone. I swear.
Yeah.
Sorry. Continue.
But I took that mystery thing, hid under my bed, and then my mother smelled it on my breath, and then I got spanked.
Okay, I was in a particular store, one that you.
Mine was a Walmart. Or it was a Costco or Sam's Club. I don't remember.
Well, okay, mine was at Walmart. I was hoping to keep companies.
Costco. It was a Costco.
I was hoping to keep company names out of this, but fuck it, that's out the window.
I mean, you could just change.
It doesn't matter either way. Okay, I was at a Walmart. This was like maybe 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted gum. And I was like, Mom, can I have some gum? Because she always has gum on her. And so...
I was at the ripe age of 7 when I stole my Airheads.
And she... Okay,
yeah, I was about that age.
I was young.
Yeah.
I was a little younger than I am today. 4 years younger, I think. But yeah, I asked for gum. Mom was like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to give you any gum. And I was like, why? And she's like, no. I was like, okay, whatever. And so for some reason, I had such a craving for gum that day that I went over to an empty cashier spot and just kind of like grabbed, I forget the name of the brand, but it was like one of those things you just pop out.
Oh, icebreakers, I think.
No,
icebreakers.
I know what
what you're talking about. I don't remember the brand because they all do it now.
I grabbed it and I slipped it out and popped 2 out, slipped it and put it back and took that. And then
Did you get caught?
No, I didn't get caught. I just kept chewing. And then 10 minutes later, because I realized what I did, I was like, my mom's gonna realize I'm chewing something. Because again, I was like, you go grocery shopping with your mom, you usually stay with your mom. So I was like, I went back up to her, I was like, Mom, with it on the side of my cheek or something, not trying to chew it and all that stuff. I was like, Mom, can I have some gum, please? And she was like, fine, here. And she gave me a piece of gum. And I put that in my mouth and continued chewing. So I had this big wad of gum in my mouth. I was like, I'm happy.
I'm happy.
You clever little fucker. What about you, Jared? What did you steal when you were younger?
I was a lot younger than that. I was like 7.
Yeah,
8,
like I was.
Maybe 9 tops. And I stole oh my god, I went over, this is actually here in our hometown, I went over to the empty cash register, and I stole one of those whole boxes full of juicy fruit.
Oh my god!
I shoved it in my fucking hoodie. I shoved it in my pant pockets, and I shoved it down my pants.
Did you get caught for that?
About 3 months later, whenever my mom started finding fucking empty gum juicy fruit gum packets everywhere. She's like, where did you get all this juicy fruit? A friend.
That's
Which friend?
Common word.
Walmart.
The store. Did you pay for it with money? Yes. No, you didn't.
Oh my god.
You're right. Well, I got spanked and I got fucking grounded for close to 3 months. Yeah, that wasn't fun.
Jesus Christ.
If you guys ever
Whenever you guys got grounded for long periods of time, did your parents ever forget that they grounded you a couple of weeks in?
No. My fucking parents were
My mother did whenever my dad was deployed. She would always forget. My dad was the judge of the house, the law.
Right. Yeah, mine was... the longest I've been grounded was 6 months, but I always talked my parents out of giving me just the 3. And
The longest I was
'Cause-
grounded was a year, but that only lasted a month.
yeah, my
Because I got suspended from school.
oh, GG.
Because it was in 8th grade. I remember this clearly. I had this math teacher. He was a fucking asshole. I hope he's dead now.
Oh my god.
Like,
Damn.
I hated his guts. Everyone hated his guts. He was a dick. And you know those calculators you could actually like type words on?
Oh yeah,
I called him
yeah.
a fucking asshole on it, and then at the end of class, I put the calculator down. Then he grabbed it and then took me to the office with it.
Oh my
And
god.
then
You
I
got suspended for
2 days.
that?
Yeah, for saying my teacher was a fucking asshole, and I hope he died.
Oh, well, obviously the hope he died part I can see.
Yeah.
But if it was just like he's a fucking asshole, how the hell do you get like suspended for that shit?
Yeah,
Like
2-day suspension, and
Oh.
Dude, you
I've
ever
been suspended so many times from
Have you-
school now. It's not even funny.
have you ever had was it in school suspension?
Oh, plenty of times.
Honestly, I don't see a point to that other than
It's
I mean,
stupid.
It's just a fucking study hall at that point. It's
More
just
or
like,
less.
because you can't do anything, you can't go anywhere. You're just stuck in one spot, really.
All day. It just
Yeah.
feels like you're still in school.
Yeah, it's like, what's the point in doing that? Just give me out of school suspension. There's no point.
Yeah, like what's the longest time you've been out of school due to an illness?
Shit.
Not due to an illness, but due to vacation.
Uh,
For vacation, it was like 2 months. For illness, it was like maybe 2 weeks.
For vacation, I don't think ever. For illness, I got put out of school for almost 3 weeks.
I got put out for a month. I had pneumonia when I was in
Ooh.
like 7th grade.
Ooh,
I had so much fucking homework to catch up on afterwards. I wanted to fucking kill myself.
I'm
Wow.
sure.
Well, for me, it was
Pneumonia was awful, but I got to stay home and play World of Warcraft all day after I ate my soup, so I didn't complain.
For me, I was in 1st grade and I had an eye infection that I almost ended up losing my eye over.
Which one?
I do believe it was my. Let me see here. It was my left eye. It
That was my guess.
I had an eye infection for 3 weeks. They almost took my eye over it.
Oof.
They almost fucking took my eye out over it because it was starting to become a staph infection.
Oh, damn.
And it had pus all over the eye. I couldn't open it.
Stop describing it.
hurt.
Jesus.
It fucking
Just thinking about it is just like cringe.
It hurt like a motherfucker too. I
Yeah.
remember I was like, I'll be honest, that was one of the most
I remember-
miserable times in my fucking life.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago actually, when towards the end of high school, I put my contact lens in my eye inside out, and it cut my eye.
Oh.
So I had to put medicine in. It felt so fucking weird. What's the first time you've ever gotten in trouble in school, if you remember? I'll go first. Yes. Okay, I actually have two. One was in kindergarten, the other was in 1st grade. So, when I was in kindergarten, we had to go outside during the winter, and my teacher told me to go outside. I was like, and I legitimately said, my parents told me this, no, it's too fucking cold outside. That was the first time I got in trouble in a school. And my teacher called my mom, and she said she tried so hard not to laugh over the phone because she was surprised I used it in the right context. And then once she hung up, my mom was just dying of laughter. And then in 1st grade, there was this little... God, I feel really bad for this now, looking back at it. There was this little black kid that I didn't like. He was super annoying.
Oh no.
And he told on me because I was like, oh, I don't want to hang out with you. He's like, and my teacher said, Jeremy, go hang out with him. I said, no, I'm not supposed to hang out with black people. I was a little fucking shit in 1st grade, dude.
Oh my god.
Looking back at that now, I just feel so bad.
What about you, Manny?
Okay, my first time that
I don't
ever...
think you can top mine.
No,
No, I can top yours.
Mine won't top any of yours. 'Cause I went to the first time I got in trouble was 2nd grade, like full-fledged in school trouble. Was when I was in 2nd grade over at the Stetson Elementary School. I don't know why, but for some reason it pissed me off too because this was the first time I got in trouble, and it was because I guess. I think I was copying some other person's work right next to me because I didn't know what the fuck. Because I was so little and I had no clue what the fuck I was doing. And
What subject was this?
I think it was English.
Oh, English
So,
is honestly the
it
easiest
was-
one.
I mean,
Whenever I cheated, it was always in math class.
Yeah, though I was just like, cause I didn't know what was going on because it was all a blur for me. I don't remember the teacher teaching this or going reading books about this. It was just here's the worksheet. There's your word bank.
Don't slam on the table.
Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, you probably just made everybody deaf.
Well, I mean, I'll be editing this together, so.
But yeah, he was like, here's your worksheet, you know, here's your word bank, get the words where they need to go.
Here's a piece of paper as the worksheet.
Anyway, yeah, so like there was this girl right next to me, and I kind of like copied her, and I looked over and all stuff, and I went to go show a teacher, and she was like, because I had the same wrong ones as her. And the teacher was just like, well, who did you copy this off of? Like, immediately just looked at me, like, as if I was, like, already a bad kid.
Yeah.
Because I started the year a little late.
God, I feel like I left a bad example for my sisters, for all my teachers. Like, Megan has a couple of my teachers right now, my little sister, and a couple of them, I'm pretty sure, as soon as they saw her name, she's like, oh, God, not another one.
Yeah, that's where my brother is right now, too.
Yeah, we fucked our siblings.
Yeah, we did.
With my, so...
Especially in ROTC.
She was...
Your brother's in ROTC?
Yeah.
Oh, my
I
God.
fucked him hard.
Damn.
They're always suspicious of him.
Damn. Yeah,
sure.
But with me, the fucking...
Alright. Short intermission, people.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said,
Copying and
the teacher was just, she immediately looked at me. She was like, who the hell did you copy this off of? And I pointed her out because I was an honest little fucking kid back then.
As was I.
And then she was like, okay, you need to go down to the office. So she made me grab my backpack. She made me grab my papers and pencils and all that bullshit, and took me down to the principal's office. And I was crying because this was the first time I ever got in serious trouble. And I sat down, and the principal looked at me. He was like, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to take this. Why are you fake crying? I know a lot of kids that fake cry. And I'm like, I'm not, though. And it really pissed me off because I was truly crying because this was the first time I ever got in trouble.
Yeah.
And he got like really close to my face, and he was just like, stop fake crying. You're not fooling me. I was like...
You can tell when a kid is fake crying or not. It's not that hard.
I'm not.
And like the funny thing about kids, I was babysitting one of our old family friends from Italy's kid, and he fell down the stairs, and he got right up, and 5 seconds later, he looked normal, but then 5 seconds later, he started crying because he wanted attention. It's easy to tell when a kid's fake crying.
I was crying because I was scared I was going to get in trouble. I was going to get spanked.
You're going to get grounded.
I was going to get grounded because I got sent to the fucking principal's office. That's like... because I was such an innocent kid and so not used to being in trouble so all the time by other people other than my parents, I broke down. I got scared. I was worried, I was feared of being judged mainly because I was a little kid.
Yeah, that's like the worst thing that's like the scariest thing for most kids. They just hate being different. They wanted to get along with
everybody.
Exactly.
It's like everyone,
except me, I didn't give a fuck.
I wanted to get along with everyone, all right? I was like, if you didn't like me, then I was like, well, I mean, I guess you don't like me, so I guess I'll leave you alone. But, as long as I have other people that don't like me, I'm okay. I'm not sure. But if, like, everyone decides, like, one day, say, cast me out, yeah, sure, I'll get emotional about that stuff. Today, I don't give a fuck. You can hate my guts. I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, it was just like, yeah, I kind of wanted friends. I kind of wanted to talk to people. I wanted to be social, even though I was quiet. And since I got in trouble from that day, I was just like, dude, the principal just got
my neck. Sorry.
Principal just got on my ass, and he was just like, stop fake crying. I was like, I'm not though.
Yeah, it's easy to tell when a kid's fake crying or not. And in those circumstances, I would have believed you were legitimately crying. Anyway, Jared, what's the first time you got in trouble in school? Like, big trouble?
Big trouble. Well, the first time I got in trouble in school was really big trouble. So, as you all know, I've got a really bad temper problem. I've got a horrible temper, really bad anger. It's always been like this. Whenever I was little, it was like this, and it was... I had a very hard time controlling it.
Anger's hard to control when you're young.
I didn't know how to control it. I didn't know what to do with it. And it usually always got the best of me. Well, whenever I was in fucking first grade, this girl, hated her little guts. I thought she was a twat waffle. But she was always fucking bugging me. But the one time I needed her fucking help, she would not help me. She was just being
what did you need help with?
I don't know, something we were doing in class, an assignment or something. She was just being a little fucking twat waffle. She was pissing me off, too. And finally, I was fucking yelling at her. And she just kept ignoring me. So, this is when things took worse.
Turn for the worse.
Yeah, turn for the worse. I fucking looked over at her and a fire just ignited in my fucking eyes. And I reached out to her and I grabbed her by the throat and I fucking strangled her. And I shook her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth
God.
for about a solid 3 minutes until the fucking teacher was able to get me to let go. And by the time
Was she unconscious or?
well, she was almost unconscious. By the time I let go, she had a bruise around her neck where my hands were.
Oh my God! How old were you?
I was about 7, 6.
Jesus, 7-year-old leaving a bruise on somebody from strangling them. That's fucking crazy.
I've got pretty strong hands. I'm a lot stronger than I look.
I mean, I'm just considering because of the age.
Well, yeah, I've always had really strong hands.
I've always had
whenever I was
strong
little.
legs.
But I ended up with a week's worth of suspension in elementary school for that.
Whoo! Jesus Christ!
Plus
That-
You're
another,
lucky you didn't get expelled.
plus another week worth of ISS.
Oh,
and
in-school
school
suspension.
suspension.
That's what
But
it's called.
That was the very first time.
Oh, Christ.
Nobody wanted any fucking thing to do with nothing. They didn't want anything to do with me. Yeah, all the way up until middle school, and then everyone I knew in elementary school had either left or moved away by then, and the few that were there didn't really care, and that's
They
whenever.
feared you.
Yeah, everybody who had feared me had left, but
He's the next Hitler,
I mean-
everybody. He's gonna cause fear.
that was the first time I did something really fucking bad.
That's fucked
Alright,
up.
well,
Holy
that
shit.
beats us.
That definitely beats us combined.
Yeah.
I mean, yours was only cheap.
Mine was cheap.
What was the first time you cursed in front of your parents? I remember mine. I was playing.
I don't know.
I was playing Diablo 2 on the computer, and I was playing as a sorceress, and I was a clever little shit. I was like, "All right, she's a sorcerer ass," in front of my mother, and she was just like, "Oh my god."
For me,
She was on a phone call too with her boss. That's what I remember.
For me, it was definitely whenever I was playing on the original PlayStation 2
Mhm.
that we had. I was playing Call of Duty, the second Call of Duty, Big Red 1.
Mhm.
And I got fucking pissed off at something. I don't know. But I remember throwing my fucking controller
right.
and screaming, "God damn it!" And my mom was in the other room. And all I hear, all I think to myself, that's all I thought to myself after I'd said it was, "Uh-oh." And all I hear in the background was, "What?" And
Gosh dang it.
my mom had said that, and I was like, "Sorry." And she's like, "I want you off now, Jared Richard Carvel." I was like, "Uh-oh, she used the middle name."
Yeah, you know you're fucked when your parents use the middle name.
Definitely. Yeah.
She used the middle name. But yeah, it was definitely the first time.
What about you, Manny?
My first time was when I was around the age of 12, I believe.
When
Maybe.
you were 12, I was like 6.
Yeah, I was like 6 or 7.
Well,
Holy
you know, I
shit.
didn't.
You were a good kid.
I was a good kid, man. You know, I didn't do shit. I knew what I could do and what I can't do. You live in a Mexican household, you live by that rule.
Good point.
But the fucking I'm trying to remember. What happened was that I was playing on my because the Xbox 360 came out at
Yeah.
the time, and I was able to get my hands on one because I scrapped together all this birthday money and this fucking lawnmower money, and I was like so happy that I finally got one. All right, well,
Uh-huh.
I bought Star Wars: The Force Unleashed.
Oh, that is like a really fucking good game,
Yeah,
too.
but there was this one part in the game that really pissed me the fuck
I
off.
think I know what part you're talking
It
about.
was when you were supposed to try and pull down the fucking
The ship. One
the
of
ship.
ships.
You're supposed to bring down.
X-Wing.
I don't know. You're supposed to like
TIE
pull
fighter.
it. It was the big fucking ship carrier.
Oh, those. I forget the name.
I forget the name of it too.
I'll have to
but-
ask
Are you
Kylie,
talking like a
she's
Star
really big on-
Destroyer? or-
No, no, it's not Star Destroyer.
I would have to ask Kylie. She's huge into Star Wars.
It's
so.
like a triangle shape. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
I forgot
It's,
the name.
Kylie! What's the name of that triangle ship in Star Wars? That really big one.
It's in, you know, it was originally the Republic ship.
What is it called?
The big triangle
big
ship in
triangle fucking
Star
ship.
Wars.
It was originally made from the Republic, and then that turned it over into the Empire.
Yeah, that's what I remember.
It was like a triangle ship, and like
It's like the first ship you see in Episode 4.
I know.
I forgot the name. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what
Just
we're talking
Google
about.
it.
I'm pretty sure everyone knows what we're
Yeah,
talking
she's
about.
got a good fucking point. What are we doing here? You fucking dumbasses.
No, I mean, I was going to Google it, but then, she
fucking
called.
triangle ship in Star Wars.
Just Google it. Oh my god. She really like the only person here with the brain.
Yeah.
We're all guys here, so what do you expect?
It's the Star Destroyer.
I was fucking
yeah.
right.
All right, so yeah, there
Both
you go.
of you go to hell and suck a cock on your way.
Okay, well, anyway, yeah, you got to pull down the Star Destroyer and then you
I
have these
remember
fucking,
that part.
you had these TIE fighters that came out of nowhere that were trying to kill you in the process, and like after you fight off
that
the
was
TIE
such a hard one.
it was, and after you fought off the TIE fighters, you had to like fucking use the Force to pull the fucking shit down to the floor. And,
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it pissed me off because my character at the time was, you're not that strong.
Yeah.
But you're strong enough to fend off.
To
enough.
hold your own.
Yeah. But it got to the point because I died like on the 5th try. I was like, fuck! And I chucked my controller across the room. It hit the wall. I heard, like, I go over to check on my controller, and I see, like, the battery snapped out, the B button is smashed all the way
First
in.
experience of gamer rage.
Yep. And I'm like, oh no. I started crying a little deep inside. A little tear shed.
Yeah.
A tear always sheds whenever
Because
you
it's a
fucking
brand
break-
new Xbox.
Yeah.
controller, too.
I got
a tear always sheds whenever you break a fucking game
Yep.
controller. I mean, let's
It
be
was
real
like
here.
it was literally like a week after I bought it. Granted, I had another controller already, but it was the black one, and that was my favorite one.
Yeah.
And
Showing a little bias here on favoritism.
excuse me.
Oh!
Well,
he is Mexican.
I like the black controller.
Yeah, it's close enough to it.
I'll go kill yourself.
Sorry, man. We gotta poke fun at you.
I know,
Like,
I
come
know.
on.
But yeah, like my dad, he was literally about to. He was like, he was, you know how like you get bored one day or you're just chilling. Like it was like the afternoon, the sun was going down, and this was back in my old house.
Yeah.
And my dad was because we had a screen door, the red one.
Yeah, really? You were still in that house?
Yeah,
when you were
yeah.
that young? Wow.
Yeah, and
You
my
were
dad,
there a while.
he was sitting there. It was late evening, and he was having his late evening coffee, because my dad likes coffee a lot.
Coffee's fucking gross.
Agreed.
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
Coffee
I don't know how. I mean,
I only
then
have
again,
coffee when I'm desperate.
then again, he was in the military for 10 years, so that's probably the reason why
That would
he was able to
explain
do
it,
that.
yeah.
So he was sitting there. He used to drink like 12 cups a day.
Oof.
So he was sitting there drinking it, and like he heard all that, and he sets his coffee down and comes running downstairs. He's like, "What happened?" Because he heard me yell "fuck," and I threw my controller across the room with a loud bang. And so I look up to him. I'm like, "Nothing happened." He's like, "Nothing happened." He's like, "What happened?" I was like, I threw my controller and it broke. He's like, "What did you say?" I said the F word. And
I said the F word.
I said the F word, and he was just like, "All right, you need to take a break from video games for a little bit. Go outside or some shit." After that,
Go do other kid things.
my dad was just like, he was like on full fledged kick my ass out the door. After that, he was like, "You can't keep playing." Like he was like, "You have an hour to play video games, and that's all you got. Enjoy it." And so I did, and then he comes downstairs, turns it off, and he'd throw me out the door. He'd be like, "Go play."
Yeah.
All right.
Did you guys ever have a trampoline? I mean, I know you do.
I was like, you were really gonna ask this question?
No,
I've got
the-
one.
I
sitting
just
in my
remembered.
fucking
As soon
yard
as I
now.
said it, I remembered.
The reason, okay, so the reason I didn't have one was because at the time the reports of trampoline deaths were huge for some reason.
I remember whenever that was a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, I did too.
And so that's what worried my parents. They're like, "We don't want a trampoline because we don't want you to suffer,
to die.
hurt yourself."
I think that's why my parents got one. Man, honestly.
Damn, yeah.
I knew you were going to say something like that too. That's the thing.
I've always wanted a trampoline, all right? And then, after the reports of, kids are dying on trampolines and all this shit, even though it really wasn't that high of a number.
It wasn't that big either.
It wasn't that big, no. After all that, media shit blew over, and I asked my parents again, because I got older too. It was like a year after.
You got older and wiser.
I got a little bit older, and I was like, "Mom, Dad, can we get a trampoline?" And they were like, "No, because it wouldn't look right in the backyard." I'm like, "Ugh."
But it'll make me get friends. People will finally think I'm cool.
Right.
I think I'll always own a trampoline. I might be a fucking 90-year-old man. And I'll own a trampoline.
Oh hell yeah!
You be sitting back there,
fun.
you just get on it, jump. Fuck, worth.
Here's
your back snaps in half.
Just lie on it.
Question.
Just lie on it and like shift your weight a little bit so it bounces up and
Right,
down.
just like pelvic thrust every now and then.
Yeah.
Here's oh my god. Fucking Jason, our friend Jacob had a trampoline back in Italy, and we would always do tricks on the trampoline, and one of the things Jason fucking did and got in a little bit of trouble for by his parents was, I don't think he got in trouble, I don't remember.
Did he flip?
He did a flip, but he no, I remember what he did now. He landed on his back and yelled, "Epic sex maneuver," jumped on his back. And then as soon as he landed, jumped again, he thrusted and yelled, "Anal."
Oh, God.
Epic sex maneuver.
Anal! No, it was like, "Epic sex maneuver. Anal!" It was like that.
Wow.
Like the TV announcer kind of voice.
Yeah, TV announcer screaming anal. So, one other question. I know you guys have probably hurt your siblings a lot in your lifetime.
I broke my brother's arm.
Oof. I punched Kylie in the boob once, and also threw a softball at her and broke her
It's a
nose.
chihuahua.
You
Hi,
broke.
Kylie.
You just injured it.
I was like, you broke your sister's nose.
Just by throwing it, she was into softball at the time. She was a pitcher. She has been for the longest time, and we were just practicing outside. And I threw it too hard. It escaped past her glove and hit her right in the face.
GG.
I think the worst I've ever done to my brother is me and him got in a fight, and I busted the shit out of his nose. I gave him a black eye, and I dislocated his shoulder and his hip.
So, following up with that question, what's the worst thing your siblings have done to you, injury-wise? I'll go first. It was back on a Christmas, right before we left for Italy, if I'm remembering correctly. Kylie got mad that she couldn't put up the star, and it was my turn. So she threw the star at me and cut my lip.
Ouch.
That shit fucking hurt. I had to eat, I couldn't eat hot food for like weeks.
That's funny.
It was pretty funny when I look back at it, but I remember that shit hurting a lot specifically.
Yeah, mine. Let's see.
I don't know if you remember that, throwing that Christmas star at me.
I thought it hit you in the face.
No, it cut my lip. I remember because I couldn't eat warm foods for a while. I had to stick with like pudding and Jello and shit.
I do remember that, but
Hmm.
I just didn't remember why I threw the star. I just remember I got mad about something and threw it at you.
Yeah,
Oh, me.
See?
it was either I was a little shit or it's because of my turn to put up the star and you wanted to. I don't remember.
For me, it'd have to be whenever my brother stabbed me with a fucking file
Oof.
in my leg. It went in about 3 inches.
Damn.
Ugh.
That's enough to get an artery.
Yeah, I've actually gotten stabbed before too, but that'll be the next question. What about you?
Okay, my brother doesn't do shit to me because he knows I'll kick his ass.
Has he really not done
He's
anything?
never tried. Well, I mean, he's tried, but like the most he does right
That's
now is
right.
be like punch, like do that, or try punching me.
This
And
one,
he
my
knows. He
my
knows.
brother's learned far enough now. He's like, he'll
Yeah.
know he'll
Yeah,
get his
My
ass.
sisters
fucking
know I
pounded.
would just
Like,
sit on
my
them
brother-
and crush them.
my
'cause
brother-
I'm a fat ass.
Like the most my brother will do to me, he'll like punch me as hard as he can. I'll come back and hit him as hard as I can too.
Yeah.
And so and then he'll start crying, and my mom. This literally happened too because he did that to me.
Yeah.
And my mom would be like, "What happened?" And I'll be like, "He punched me first," and she'd be like, "Gabe, stop punching people."
Yeah, my brother's learned enough now.
Not to
where-
fuck with you.
Not to fuck. I almost fucking.
Yeah.
He enraged me so bad one time that I had done the same thing to him as I did to that girl, and I was like full on rage. Like, I was not saying straight.
Oh, I remember that. You said you were having a bad day on top of it.
I was
too,
having
like
a
an
bad
awful
day, and then he pissed me off on top of it, and I fucking grabbed him by the throat, and I squeezed hard. He had fucking bruises around his neck. He had a bruised trachea, which is hard to do. And I fucking picked him off the ground, and I just started strangling him.
Yeah.
I
So-
mean, I could have killed the fucking guy.
Yeah.
I from there on, that's why I'm so afraid of
And
myself.
like I've noticed recently too, like your rage has gotten a bit better, a little bit, but the anger is the hardest thing to control for people. I know
I
that.
don't know. That about a month ago, I didn't think so. I was maybe this month I'm a little bit better, but last month whenever I got into that car accident and all this shit was blowing up.
shit was bad for you.
I could have killed someone. I'll be honest. I was.
Yeah,
at
you
my
had
limits.
that. You had that look in your eyes. You wanted to kill something.
The only reason I didn't break is because I've had so much experience holding my anger and all my rage back that I can hold it back.
You just need to furiously
bite it back.
masturbate a few times. And
Yeah.
that'll help.
I masturbate to like 500
Dude, like I can't wait till like,
masturbate to the devil.
dude, like
So stubborn.
like I can't wait for you to like get like something like a girlfriend and like you guys get married something like that and you get like really pissed off and, like
And then you
conjunction
demand angry-
the only
you two
conjunction
have
you
angry
come to
sex.
is pissed off sex.
Sex. Oh my god.
It's like I'm having a fucking pissed off day, throwing shit everywhere, and she's just like,
She's like, ooh, that gets me going.
I'll
God.
probably be single for the rest of my life. I
nah,
won't know
you'll
what
be
that's
fine,
like.
man. You'll be fine.
Yeah, me too, brother.
All right. Well, I guess you guys don't have
one-
any hope in yourselves.
Yeah.
GG.
So last
give
question.
it up.
Last question. Self-inflicted injuries that were caused on accident.
For
For me, I was playing in the front yard in Italy,
I don't know.
7th grade, and I actually still have the scar on my knee. It's probably barely visible, but it's like right here. We were playing in the front yard. I tripped and fell, and a piece of piggy bank. Oof, shit hurt. I remember when I had to get alcohol poured on that, and I was just screaming in absolute pain.
You know,
It was the worst thing that's ever happened, other than breaking my arm and leg.
I can't really think of anything just because I'm such a big I hate pain. I have the lowest tolerance to pain.
Oh, same here.
I've always like tried to stay away from getting hurt. Like I've always taken like the bitch safe way out.
I always tried to stay away, but I was a fucking idiot. I was like, no, I'm gonna fucking
can't really-
break my arm and leg.
I can't
Okay.
really recall anything.
Mine, okay. Mine was back when I was living over in Georgia. I was probably like maybe 5 to 7, 5 to 6. I don't remember how old I was, but I remember how badly this sucked because wiring on bikes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so those wires were exposed because they're the brake wires.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so they're like little metal pieces. Sorry, they're thin metal.
Yeah.
All right, and well, I don't remember who I was playing. I guess I was playing with a friend or something like that in the backyard. I climbed on top of the bikes 'cause the bikes were leaning up against the fence out there, and they were just chilling right there. And I was climbing on it so I can look over the fence, and because I don't even know why. All right, but I do remember was that my legs slipped in between the metal bar and the wiring, and so I fell back, and along with that I slid because it was at an angle because of the brake line. It was at an angle, and so I kind of just hung there, sliding down towards the tire. So the back pieces of my knee hurt. really bad.
God, not there.
So like
That's like a very
so, like,
delicate part.
I was legit like upside down, just like, and
I can only imagine how bad.
yeah,
that
and
hurt.
so I was
Yeah.
like, ow! I don't even remember how the pain was. But I do remember my
That
dad coming
hurt.
over.
I remember.
I remember my dad coming over and lifting me up, and I looked to the back of my knees. I just saw lines and blood, and that was
Yeah.
it.
I don't even
damn.
want to think about that.
Have you guys almost died before?
No.
I've had one
Yeah.
near-death experience.
Are you fucking kidding me? That car accident that I was just in.
Yeah. How about when you were younger?
Whenever it was, God, yeah.
Oh, I almost drowned.
They were whenever my parents were building the barn over at my house.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
A hammer fell off the roof, and I was like standing right underneath, and it almost hit me in the head.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
Luckily,
that's
my-
considered a near-death experience right there. That shit would have killed you.
Luckily, my mother grabbed me and pulled me out of the way in time, but it would have killed me.
Ooh, yeah. How heavy was that hammer?
It was like a 7 or 8 pound hammer.
Ooh, how
It was
how
a
old were you?
roofing hammer.
How
I
old
was,
were you?
it was about 8,
Yeah. So
Yeah, that definitely would have killed you.
What about you, Jeremy?
8, 7.
Oh man. I was into rollerblading when I was living in Italy. That shit was like I had a lot of fun rollerblading
Nice.
in Italy. I would
Nice.
go around my village, go up the mountains, and then go down the steep hills that they had.
Nice.
But one time I didn't want to go far because there was like a rain warning. So there was this garage that I would just turn around, and it was a steep enough hill where I would go fast. and I went down it and dislocated my left shoulder because it like fell behind my back. I was in my God, putting that back in fucking hurt, but the wind got knocked out of me. I couldn't breathe for 2 minutes, and I was blacking out until some Italian, one of my neighbors, came down there because he heard me going. So. He hit my chest real hard, and it brought the wind back, and I was like, I swear, if no one heard me, I think I would have died because I was starting to black out by the time he came and hit me.
Yeah, my think the near-death experience I kind of had
you
would have to be
drowned. So.
Yeah, I almost drowned. I'm trying to remember when it was the ocean.
Oh God, I hate the ocean.
Yeah, it was over when we were in Florida. I remember.
Fuck Florida.
Yeah, we were in Florida on vacation. We went to Disney World and all that stuff, and we're like, let's go to the beach. I'm like, okay. So we went to the beach. Okay. I went swimming. You know, I was having fun, taking the waves back into shore because I was afraid of sharks. Okay. This was maybe 4 years ago. I don't remember. Right.
Wow.
It was a little bit. My brother was 7, which means I was 14 because we're 7 years apart. All right. Yeah, so I went swimming, and I had this fear of sharks and all that shit, and so eventually I was, just riding the waves back in to the shoreline. So one day I go farther, because I go farther every time. So I went far enough out to where the waves were not enough to pull me back in, but were enough to pull me out.
Away, yeah. Oh.
And so the water was cold, because the ocean. Yeah. and then I was getting tired. And you start, and I'm a skinny kid.
Yeah,
And when I was 14... I had a lot of muscle built, okay? And muscle is heavier than fat.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you have...
And fat floats.
If you look at me and you right now, you would float better than I would.
Absolutely.
I would be trying harder than you to stay afloat.
Yeah. And I'm a good swimmer, too. Mm-hmm. Even from me being a big fat ass, I'm a really good swimmer.
But, yeah, I was getting tired, trying to keep my head above water. Eventually... I was like, okay, well, I might as well, because I looked at the shoreline and I looked, to where I was, and I was like, okay, you know what, I might as well try and gamble so that way I can get some, rest a little bit and get myself back up to get some air.
Yeah.
So I relaxed my muscles so that way they can
relax.
And I held my breath and I went underneath the water.
Oof.
Well, I thought I was closer to the shoreline to where my feet, I would go under a little bit and my feet would touch the ground and I could just jump back up towards air. I wasn't.
No. Oh,
I kept.
God.
As soon
you kept falling.
Yeah, I kept going. I was like, "Why? Where's the sand?
Where's the bottom of the ocean?"
Right. Eventually, after maybe a few seconds of realizing I'm not going.
Adrenaline
anywhere,
kicked in.
The thing about adrenaline though is that it takes away air, and that's what sucks.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
And adrenaline kicked in. My feet finally hit the sand. I catapulted myself up, and it still wasn't enough to get my head above water. I was frantically trying to swim up.
Yeah.
And that feeling you get all choked up, you just want to open your mouth to get air. Well, I was at that point. I was at that point. And I knew what was going to happen, and so I broke, and so the second I breathed in, my head hit water. I got lucky as fuck. And I was blacking out too. And it's when I finally got above water, I was trying to figure out where the fuck I am.
Oh my God. Did you yell for help afterwards?
No, I was just sure. Fucking
the adrenaline just...
Yeah, I was get to shore.
Get there before the adrenaline runs out.
If I was any deeper, because at that moment when I broke, I would have swallowed a shit ton of water, and I would have drowned right there. But yeah, I was pretty close, and yeah, it was bad.
Oh my God.
When I got to water, I was like, I'm staying here for a little. I was like, why don't you go back out there and swim? I was like, no, I don't want to. I'm good right here.
I don't know if you saw, but I almost drowned.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell your parents that?
No, I didn't want to worry them.
Yeah. Oof.
Yeah, it was bad.
God, that's terrifying.
That's
the scary thing about the ocean.
Yeah, that's the reason why I'm scared of water in general. Now, it's not like I won't go swimming or anything. It's just that I have that fear of drowning. So I always know when to, I won't go too deep in water. I know when to come up for air.
Yeah.
I limit myself.
All right, that's the end of the podcast. We never got to the blind date part, but I think you guys figured out a little bit about us for
My
how
true
stupid
love
we
journey.
are.
Yeah.
I think you guys pretty much get the gist.
See-
Next episode we'll talk about stuff.
Let's do this.
Stuff and things.
Stuffy.
things.
Stuff and
You'll see whenever you watch stuff.
Or listen. I'm gonna try and put this up on YouTube and iTunes. Because I like to listen to podcasts when I drive, and I feel like I would want to give this a listen to, see how I feel we did, and have Jason listen to it because he does the same thing.
Okay.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
All right,
Thanks for
guys.
listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening, and
Hopefully, adios later. So long.